A 3-year-old once told his parents, "I missed you, but I also had fun with Katie." His parents had been raising him with a whole brain approach. He was 3. Welcome to Whispering Pages. If you're here just for the summary, skip to the next chapter. For the rest of us, let's ease in. Notice the weight of your body. Nothing needs you tonight except this. The pre-sleep brain is especially receptive. What you take in now settles deeply while you sleep. Tonight's book is The Whole Brain Child by Daniel Siegel and Payne Bryson, 2011, a neuroscience guide to parenting that says your child's meltdowns aren't problems to fix, they're chances to build a stronger brain. So let's begin. Close your eyes if you'd like. And let's whisper through this one together. Daniel Siegel is a clinical professor of psychiatry at UCLA and the executive director of the Mindsight Institute. His co-author, Payne Bryson, is a psychotherapist and parenting educator who has spent her career helping families apply brain science in everyday life. Together they wrote this book because they saw the same frustration in parent after parent, a deeply loving, well-intentioned adult who had no idea why their child was melting down in the grocery store, and no framework for what to do about it. The answer, they believe, begins with understanding the brain. And the first thing they want you to understand is this: your child's brain is not broken. It's unfinished. Here is a fact most parents don't know. The part of the brain responsible for the qualities we most want in our children, sound judgment, empathy, emotional regulation, moral reasoning, self-understanding, does not fully mature until the mid-20s. Not the teenage years. The mid-20s. That means every time a small child erupts in rage over the wrong color cup, or a 9-year-old makes a decision so baffling it defies explanation, they are not being defiant or manipulative. Their brain simply doesn't yet have the architecture for anything better. The authors build their entire approach around one central concept: integration. A brain that is working well is an integrated brain, one where its many different parts can communicate and work together as a team. When integration breaks down, you get what the authors call chaos or rigidity. Chaos is what it looks like when your child is flooded with emotion and out of control. Rigidity is the opposite: stubborn, inflexible, shut down. Both are signs that the brain has lost integration. The authors visualize mental health as a river. Floating down the middle is peaceful and flexible. That is integration, that is the state we want for our children and ourselves. But drift too far toward one bank and you hit chaos, drift to the other and you hit rigidity. Parenting, they argue, is largely the art of helping your child find their way back to the middle when they have drifted to an extreme. And here is the part that makes this book feel genuinely hopeful. Every difficult moment with your child is also an opportunity to build integration. The meltdown is a teaching moment. The sibling fight is a brain-building exercise. The fearful, inconsolable toddler is a child whose two hemispheres need your help working together. The brain is shaped by experience. When we offer children certain kinds of experiences repeatedly, experiences that engage and connect the different parts of their brain, we are literally building the neural pathways that will serve them for the rest of their lives. You don't need special equipment or dedicated sessions. You need everyday moments and a framework for how to use them. Their framework is 12 strategies organized around 4 kinds of integration: left and right brain, upstairs and downstairs brain, implicit and explicit memory, and the self in relation to others. Let's take them one by one. The brain has 2 hemispheres, left and right, and they do different things. The left brain is the narrator. It loves logic, language, and sequence. It wants to put things in order and make sense of them. The right brain is the emotional, intuitive side. It's where body sensations live, where raw emotion lives, where the felt sense of a memory lives. And here is the key: young children are right hemisphere dominant. Their left brain is still developing, which means when big emotions hit, they often have no capacity to use words or logic to process what they are feeling. They are operating almost entirely from the emotional right side. This has enormous implications for how we respond to a child in distress. When your toddler is screaming because you cut the sandwich the wrong way, his right brain is flooded. Trying to reason with him in that moment is like speaking a language he cannot hear. What he needs first is an emotional response: eye contact, a soft voice, a warm touch. Right brain to right brain. Connection before correction. The authors call this strategy connect and redirect. First, you meet the child in their emotional state. You don't dismiss it, you don't immediately try to fix it. You acknowledge it. You come down to their level, literally and figuratively, and you let them know you see what they are feeling. Only once that connection is made, once the child feels seen and not alone in their distress, can the left brain come online and the teaching begin. There is a beautiful story in the book about a little girl named Katie, who had been taken to hospital when she became sick at preschool, and ever since had been terrified of going to school at all. She would scream that she was going to die if her father left her. He could have dismissed it. He could have told her she was being silly. Instead, he sat with her and helped her tell the story, the whole story, in order, with all its feelings, of the day she got sick. He walked her through what happened, helping her put words to her fear, naming each part of the experience so that her left brain could make sense of what her right brain had stored as raw terror. This technique is the second strategy, and the authors call it name it to tame it. Research confirms what therapists have known for decades. Giving a name to a feeling literally calms the emotional circuitry in the brain. It doesn't mean the feeling disappears. It means the feeling is no longer overwhelming, because the child now has words for it, a story that makes sense of it, and a left brain that has been brought in to help the right brain integrate the experience. This is why children benefit from telling stories about difficult things that happen to them. The drive to make narrative sense of our experiences is one of the brain's deepest instincts. When children are discouraged from talking about hard moments, when adults change the subject or say it's fine, forget about it, the brain keeps trying to process what it never got to finish. Those unfinished stories often emerge later as anxiety, avoidance, or baffling emotional outbursts. So the first two strategies are simple in concept, if not always in practice. Connect with the right brain before redirecting with the left, and help children give names and narratives to their feelings so the two hemispheres can work together. This left-right integration is the foundation. Everything else builds on it. The second kind of integration the book addresses is what the authors call upstairs and downstairs. Picture the brain as a two-story house. The downstairs includes the brainstem and the limbic region, the parts responsible for breathing, instincts, and strong emotions like fear and rage. The downstairs brain is fully developed at birth. It is fast, reactive, and doesn't consult anyone before it acts. The upstairs brain is the cerebral cortex, particularly the prefrontal cortex just behind your forehead. This is where empathy, moral reasoning, sound decision-making, self-understanding, and emotional regulation live. And unlike the downstairs, the upstairs is under massive construction for the first few decades of life. Its renovation is not complete until the mid-20s. When a child is calm, The upstairs and downstairs are connected by a metaphorical staircase and they work together. The upstairs can moderate the downstairs, applying reason and perspective to strong emotions. But when a child gets overwhelmed, they do what the authors call flipping their lid. The staircase disappears, the upstairs goes offline, and the child is left running entirely on downstairs brain, raw emotion and impulse, without access to judgment or empathy or self-control. This isn't bad behavior. It's neurology. And the parent's job in that moment is not to lecture the child. The upstairs literally isn't home to receive it, but to first help the child get regulated so the staircase can rebuild itself. The authors call this engage, don't enrage. When a child is in a downstairs flood, approaching with calm and warmth is far more effective than approaching with demands and consequences. You are not letting the behavior go. You are waiting until the child has the neural capacity to actually receive what you're about to teach. There is also a fourth strategy: use it or lose it. The upstairs brain is like a muscle. It grows stronger through repeated use. Every time we ask a child to pause and consider another person's feelings, every time we let them wrestle with a real decision rather than solving it for them, every time we ask a question that requires self-reflection, we are exercising the upstairs brain and laying down pathways that will serve them for life. And strategy 5, move it or lose it, captures something the authors consider underrated. Physical movement can shift a child's emotional state when nothing else will. The brain and body are integrated. When a child is flooded, sometimes the most effective intervention isn't words at all. It's going for a walk, jumping on a trampoline, or simply changing the physical environment. The body can shift the brain when the brain is too flooded to shift itself. These upstairs-downstairs strategies ask parents to hold two things in mind at once. Discipline matters, and a child in a flooded state cannot access the brain regions necessary to benefit from it. Connect first. Teach when the staircase is back. The third kind of integration the book explores is memory, specifically the difference between what the authors call implicit and explicit memory. These two systems work very differently, and understanding them changes the way you see a child's confusing or seemingly out of proportion reactions. Explicit memory is the kind we usually mean when we say we remember something. It's the consciously accessible account of events. This happened, then this, and I felt this way. Implicit memory is something else. It's the emotional and physical residue of experience, the way the body tenses when a certain tone of voice appears, the way anxiety rises in a particular kind of room, the way a child becomes inexplicably clingy around the time of year something scary once happened. Implicit memories don't show up as memories. They show up as feelings and behaviors whose origins are invisible even to the child experiencing them. When something frightening or overwhelming happens, especially to a small child who doesn't yet have language to process it, the experience often gets stored implicitly. And implicit memories can then act like invisible hands on the steering wheel, influencing behavior without the child having any idea why. The sixth strategy is to help children use what the authors call the remote of the mind, the ability to replay a difficult memory deliberately, at a controlled distance, rather than being ambushed by it. The way you do this is through storytelling. You help the child revisit the experience slowly and safely, putting it in order, naming the feelings, creating a narrative. As the story becomes explicit, organized and nameable, it loses the power to hijack from the shadows. There is a vivid story in the book about a little girl named Bella, who became terrified of flushing the toilet after it overflowed and flooded the bathroom. Her father helped her retell the story over and over, what she saw, what she felt, what happened next, until the experience became something that had happened to her, rather than a formless dread living in her body. Her fear gradually lifted. The seventh strategy is simply to make recollection a regular part of family life. Conversations at dinner, questions at bedtime, looking through old photos together. All of these give children practice at making their experiences explicit. Studies show that the act of putting memories into words improves emotional well-being and the ability to understand present experiences in light of the past. The authors also turn this insight on parents themselves. Many of us carry our own implicit memories, things that happened to us long ago, experiences never fully processed, and those memories can surface without warning in our parenting. A parent who reacts disproportionately to their child's crying or defiance may be responding not just to the present moment but to an old implicit experience being triggered right now. Understanding this is not about assigning blame. It's about being able to see your own reactions clearly enough to parent from the present, rather than from an unexamined past. The authors call Chapter 5 the United States of Me. The idea is that we are all made up of many different parts, many different aspects of ourselves, and mental health involves integrating those parts rather than being dominated by just one of them. They introduce a concept Dan Siegel calls the wheel of awareness. Imagine a bicycle wheel. The hub at the center represents the calm, observing part of the mind, the thoughtful prefrontal cortex, the upstairs executive. The rim of the wheel holds everything the mind can attend to: thoughts, feelings, memories, bodily sensations, hopes, fears. The spokes connect the hub to the rim. When we are integrated, we rest in the hub and we can observe the different points on our rim, our fears, our frustrations, our longings, without being completely consumed by any one of them. But when we lose integration, we get pulled off the hub and onto a single point on the rim. One fear, one memory, one feeling fills the whole field of awareness, and everything else disappears. This is what was happening to an 11-year-old named Josh, a brilliantly accomplished boy who was secretly tormented by the belief that he was not good enough. He spent all his mental energy on a cluster of fearful rim points and had almost entirely lost access to the other parts of himself. The part that loved music for its own sake, the part that wanted to just hang out and play. Therapy helped him see that the fears were real, but they were rim points, not the whole wheel. He could return to the hub. He could choose where to direct his attention. The authors describe a technique called sifting, which stands for noticing the sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts present in the mind at any given moment. Teaching children to sift their own internal landscape gives them a remarkable early skill: the ability to observe their own mental states rather than simply being at the mercy of them. The sixth and final kind of integration is between self and other, what the book calls the me-we connection. The brain is fundamentally a social organ. It is not an isolated apparatus, it's wired to be in relationship. What happens between brains shapes what happens within each individual brain. Two strategies carry this section. The first is to increase what the authors call the family fun factor. Shared positive experiences aren't just emotionally satisfying, they are neurologically formative. Connection builds the relational circuits of the brain. Playing together, laughing together, having rituals that are just yours as a family, these build the architecture that will make your child capable of love and belonging throughout their life. The second strategy is to connect through conflict. Arguments and disagreements aren't enemies of relationship. Navigated well, they are opportunities to practice the most sophisticated relational skills that exist: perspective taking, empathy, repair, and reconciliation. A child who learns to see another person's point of view during a sibling argument is building the circuitry they will use in every relationship they ever have. Now let's be honest about where this book has limits. The whole brain approach assumes a level of parental calm and reflective capacity that can be genuinely difficult to access in the heat of a real moment. Knowing that your child has flipped their lid is not the same as having the inner resources to respond wisely when you have been awake since 5 in the morning and the same argument has happened 4 times this week. The book is better at giving you the framework than at helping you build the resilience to apply it consistently under pressure. There is also a question of temperament and circumstance. The strategies here work best in a relatively stable home environment where connection is the baseline. For families navigating trauma, poverty, or mental illness, the practical distance between the theory and the reality can be significant. That said, the book's central gift is real. It fundamentally reframes the difficult moments of parenting, not as failures or problems, but as precisely the moments where the important work happens. Every tantrum is a chance to build a better brain. Every conflict is a chance to build a better relationship. Every time you connect before you correct, you are doing something that compounds over years into a child with genuine emotional intelligence and resilience. There's much more in the full book, the ages and stages section, the detailed adaptations for each strategy across developmental windows from toddlerhood through the preteen years, and the refrigerator sheet of all 12 whole brain strategies that are worth your time. The link to grab a copy is below, and it supports the channel at no extra cost to you. So here is what I'd invite you to carry into sleep tonight. The next time your child melts down, or shuts down, or says something that makes no sense, pause for 1 second before you respond. Ask yourself, which part of their brain am I looking at right now? And what does integration ask of me in this moment? You don't have to be a perfect parent. You just have to be intentional more of the time. Sleep well. And we'll see you at Whispering Pages for the next one.